I told, when I did this the earlier session, I said, because this Ramakrishna was so established in God, and one day he even smacked Rani Rasmani, the owner of the temple, saying, hey, you can't think of your court case in the temple, think of Mother Goddess. Smack! And so he's gone completely nuts, and he's not sane anymore, he's become insane. And the reason why he's insane is because he's celibate. So they took him to the house of ill repute. Remember, I did the story. And this Ramakrishna, in this, kind of establishing God realization, was taken to this courtesan called Lakshmi Bai. The moment he faced Lakshmi Bai, he put his hands together, oh mother, you are here too, and bowed down to her. So this Lakshmi Bai, who is a prostitute, came running down to Mathur Babu and this Banej and said, look, what are you trying to do? Trying to ruin us? Now they are prostitutes. They're telling, why are you trying to ruin us? You're sending us a holy man and trying to tempt him? This is terrible. Don't do that to us. They're telling them, being a prostitute is not a problem. This is business. But this thing is not right. So this thing didn't work, but it didn't stop there. Let me tell the story, gives a different color. In the same manner, when Ramakrishna at a very young age had gone to his village, his parents said, oh God, he's losing his mind. All this time, Mother Goddess. Only way to make him sober again is to get him married. So at a very young age he was married off, and somehow he didn't mind. He just got married and came back to Dakshineshwar. And then now, at the age of 18, the wife comes to the temple to see her husband. Her name is Sharadamani. She comes to the temple, Ramakrishna welcomes her. Now you might wonder, what is happening? Why is this highly celibate, a sannyasi, going to interact with a wife? A wife entering the stage now. What is going to be the link here? Didn't I tell you, Ramakrishna comes with tremendous amount of reconciliation. Reconciliation between bhakti and jnana, reconciliation between dvait and advait, reconciliation between grahastha and sannyas, householder and a renunciate. That reconciliation is visible in his life, and this is how it unfolds. Let me very, very clearly tidy up this thing. Ramakrishna had no physical relationship with his wife ever. Well documented, so there is no mischief here. And yet the wife comes, and she asks a very blunt question of this Ramakrishna. He said, how do you see me? And he replies, look at the reply. He says, the same mother that I worship in the temple, the same mother is sitting in front of me and massaging my feet now. And the woman was taken aback. What language, what words? This Ramakrishna throughout his life always called his wife, addressed his wife, never as tu in Gujarati and same in Bengali, which means singular, but as thou, tame. Now you see, if the rest of us householders here wish to experiment on this, it's very risky, especially when you get visitors. If you start addressing your wife as tame, we'll have fireworks afterwards. Anyway, I'm digressing. Let me go back. He always gave her that highest respect, that dignity. And yet there was no physical relationship. The wife lived in a separate room, which is just across the courtyard. I've seen the room. It's literally 4 feet by 6 feet room, hardly room to move. She just stayed there, cooked food for him, served him, and looked after him for the rest of his life, throughout his life. This is the role. You see, what is happening is this. This is something unique that is visible in the story of Ramakrishna. He says, do not treat marriage as a license for lust. After the birth of 1 or 2 children, treat your wife not as an object of enjoyment, but as a spiritual companion. Raise her level, do not see her as an object. Give her that dignity, see her as a spiritual companion. But again, you see, it's so gentle. He says, after the birth of 1 or 2 children, now your view of your wife must change dramatically. Look, let me tell you why it is so necessary and important. You see, the greatest thing that ties us down as this physical being, as a material being, is this physical attraction that we have for other gender. Unless we can rise above this physical attraction, there is no chance. We are not spoiled sports. There is no chance you can really experience yourself as a spirit. So it is necessary to rise above this strong physical attraction. And the way that you do it is this. Rather than look at the other person as a body, if you look at the other person as an individual, breathing through that body, individual, when you see a person not as a material manifestation but as a spirit, lust or attraction for the body will disappear forever. You see the marvelous message visible in the story of Ramakrishna. In modern times, it is telling a modern householder, house is fine, a householder's life is fine, but raise your eye level. Now no longer view your wife as an object of enjoyment. See her as a spiritual companion equal to you. When you give her that dignity, see how your life is transformed. You bring spirituality in your routine life. So now it is not that either you are a grahasti or you are a sannyasi. You can be a grahasti and yet live a life of renunciation. Raise your level. This was not visible with any other teacher in the past. It's visible in the story of Ramakrishna. He's giving a prescription for the householder. Raise yourself up. This is a unique feature of this Ramakrishna, and the story of this mother, this Sharadamani, in a way reflects this unique feature that you treat your companion not as just object, physical, but as an individual, a spiritual being who is going to stand by you for spiritual progress. Lift your vision. This is the story of Sharadamani.